Let's go ahead and get started. So, path of the packet, right? We're going to follow it, source and destination at the top. Antoine, I'm sure you know how it goes. I'm going to ask you questions, and you let me know how that packet looks at every level. Okay? So, the goal
Okay.
here, right? The problem we're trying to solve is PC7 does not have an IP address, and it's trying to get an IP address from the DHCP server that's on the right, 172.16.1.25. The local FortiGate that PC7 does connect to. It has DHCP relay configured. Okay. With that being said, I don't think you need no other information. Let's go ahead and get started. So PC7 needs a DHCP address. How does that frame look? What's the source MAC address?
Okay. So the source MAC address would be the source MAC address would be PC7's MAC address, which would be HA.
Okay. What's that destination? Because again,
Okay.
it's trying to get an IP address. So what does it do?
Okay. It's trying to get an IP address. So it would Okay, so since it's trying to get its IP address, it'll go to the default route, which would be first it should go to the firewall to see if it can, it should go to the firewall first.
Yeah.
What is the IP address of the firewall?
Still at layer
Oh,
two. What's the
I'm
what's
sorry,
the
my fault.
destination MAC address?
Sorry. So if that's the case, then the destination MAC address would be BA.
Okay. All right. What's the source IP?
The source IP would be PC7 source IP. Pardon me. The source IP would be PC7's IP address,
Mm-hmm.
which is 0000
Okay.
slash 0.
Okay. And what is the destination IP?
The destination IP should be uh, um
Would it be like the
I would assume
Nope. Don't
oh
answer.
okay, so since it looks like it looks like it looks like the network has been segmented. So if PC7 is in VLAN 10, then I would assume that the destination IP would be
Mm-hmm.
for VLAN 10, which is 192.168.10.1.
Okay. So that's how the packet looks like when it leaves PC7 and trying to get an IP address.
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. So this is actually incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you why. So, do you understand the DORA process as it relates to DHCP?
The first step would be to discover.
Okay. And what is a host going to do during the discover phase?
Is going to send out is going to send out a it's going to send out a packet, or rather it's going to send out a packet saying where is the DHCP server, so that way I
Okay.
can. But
Okay. So with that being said,
mhm.
right, it doesn't know where that who the DHCP packet is. So what is that frame and packet, right? Frame at layer 2, packet at layer 3. What what does that look like? What is it doing at the D part of the DORA process? What's happening? It's a term that I'm looking for. What is it doing if it doesn't know who to reach out to?
It sends a broadcast.
Okay, excellent. So if it's doing a broadcast, what does a broadcast look like, right? Has a destination MAC address and a destination IP address.
As a destination MAC address, it would
Mm-hmm.
be all Fs.
There we go. Okay. Okay. What about from a layer 3 standpoint? What does a broadcast look like? Take your time. You can Google, you can look at your resources, what have you.
Okay. Let me think.
Mhm.
Hmm. Oh, I want to say 255, 255, 255, 255.
That is correct. Okay. So, all right. So PC7 sends a broadcast, right? So this is how this frame looks like. Okay. So it's being sent, right? We got this taken care of. It's on our physical medium, right? And the switch gets it, right? It forwards that broadcast everywhere, right? And what happens next?
Okay. So the broadcast reaches the switch,
Hmm.
and now the switch would forward the broadcast.
Hmm.
So the source, the frame shouldn't change
Hmm.
completely. So
Hmm.
the source should still be PC7's MAC address, which is HA.
Okay.
And if it's sitting at the switch, the destination, well, yeah, the destination MAC address still, yeah, the frame should still be the same. So it's the destination MAC address is BA,
Okay.
and the source IP is still 0.0.0.0/0.
Okay. Destination.
Destination IP The destination IP. The destination IP now should be 192.168.10.1.
Yeah. But you just told me it's a broadcast. So is it only one packet that's one frame that's traversing that switch? Or is it two or three?
Okay, we're still in layer 2. So, right, we're still at layer 2. So then it's
Mhm.
still 255, 255, 255, 255.
You sure?
Yes,
Positive.
positive.
Okay, that's incorrect. So why is that incorrect? Right? So the door process, right? It shot
Mhm.
out that broadcast, right?
Mhm.
So we don't need to track where it's going, right? What we're worried about, what we're worried about is we're worried about who's going to respond, right? So if you're reading the entire lab, right? Like the engineer that you guys are,
Mhm.
and you guys see what is configured on the FortiGate, the HTTP relay, correct?
Correct.
So if you know about the door process, you know it is listening to DHCP packets and frames, right? To respond and say, hey, you're looking for a DHCP server. I'm going to respond back to you, right? So if that D packet slash frame is sent out from PC7, it is responded, right? Of course, the broadcast message will be forwarded out. We know that from a layer 2 standpoint, but who's going to respond to it? That's what we're worried about. It's going to be FortiGate 1
Right.
because it has DHCP relay configured. So I don't care how that frame looks like at the switch level. It's going to
Okay.
forward and it's going to forward that unknown unicast broadcast out of all of its ports except for the port that it received the broadcast on. So let's try this again. Now that you know that, what does the frame look like now at step 2? Who's the source? Who's the destination? Who's the source IP? Who's the destination IP?
Okay. So the source MAC is the source MAC is hmm, the source MAC is the source MAC is BA
Why?
because at that point the request is coming from the FortiGate on behalf of PC7.
What's the destination MAC address?
Destination MAC address would be destination MAC address would be KA.
AA? Okay. What's the source IP?
Source IP is 192.168.10.1.
Destination?
172.116.1.25. And I want to change the destination MAC to EA.
Okay. Can you explain your reasoning for your answers?
The FortiGate knows the destination IP address,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't know the FortiGate knows the destination IP address, but it doesn't necessarily know or would not know the MAC address that resolves into it. I believe that
Into what?
in into well, not resolve into it, that is tied to the IP address, which will be the DHCP server. It would have to question the FortiGate 2's ARP table to see what it will question the ARP table of the FortiGate 2 to see, okay, what MAC address is tied to that IP address.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the reason why I switched my answer from the MAC address of the DHCP server to the FortiGate
Okay.
2.
Okay. At this step, you're incorrect.
Okay.
So you skip tons of steps, and you miss some of the fundamentals. So there's no way from one, FortiGate 1 should not know about the MAC address of FortiGate 2. MAC addresses cannot cross layer 3 boundaries. That's the first
Oh,
thing.
I know where I went wrong now. I think I do.
So second, right? Um, the source IP address, right? Right. In terms of DHCP relay, you're correct, right?
Right,
That would be the source if it is traversing an untrusted public network, aka the internet. You're
right.
correct. But how do I know how to get back to PC7? Because that's who sent the request. So in this packet, I don't see anywhere that says information about PC7's MAC address, nor its IP address. Okay. And so the destination, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
correct. We're trying to get there, right? But again, if we were to send this packet from FortiGate 1, it's I mean, one, it's not even gonna get onto the wire because that ARP table is gonna say from FortiGate 1, hey, where's EA? It's gonna get no response.
Right.
So it's just gonna be dropped. Let's say we did have the correct destination MAC address, right? That next hop. And it's sent, right? Sent, it truckles along, it goes over the wire, what have you, and it gets to the DHCP server, and it gets back to FortiGate 1. There's no DHCP relay information in this packet. So FortiGate's going to ask itself, what do you want me to do with this? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back. I want you to read up on um I want you to read up on layer 2 and layer 3 before we come back and do this. I don't want to waste cycles doing this. And I need you to also understand fully, find some YouTube videos on what the DHCP relay does. And I'm gonna give you I'll give you till Saturday morning, because I'm meeting with Markivia and Don Saturday morning. So after
Okay.
their session, I'll meet with you at 11, and we got to be on point whenever we come in there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. I'll see you guys then.
All right, sounds good, guys. Take care. Bye.
Later.
All right. Wait.